We undertook a huge project this weekend at Stillwater's Ranch. We were having major pooling up of water around our house when it rained, which we thought was starting to affect our foundation, and just our drainage in general wasn't great around our house. We also thought, let's kill two birds with one stone and let's fill the pond while we perfect our draining, because our pond would get super low when there wasn't a rainfall. Here's the plan. We're going to lay out drainage pipes, dig a trench by hand, and drain from our gutter system into the pond. This should help our drainage system and help fill our pond at the same time, giving our cows and other animals more water. So here we go. Laying the pipes out. We do have a connector piece in the middle here because we're going to go in two different directions from two different angles of the house into the pond. The crucial part here is just measuring out your pipe and about how much material you'll need. We also have the connectors that connect onto our gutter system to the pipe. That's really the only materials we have. We did use our saw, which we already own, and then we trenched this by hand, you'll see, and we own that trencher as well. We did decide to trench this by hand. I say we, really, Brian did all of the trenching. I did a little bit. But we decided to trench it by hand just for a workout and not renting equipment, just using the equipment that we had. But if you did rent trenching equipment, this would go way faster. Another important piece is just getting the pipes to where the water will flow. So, like having no high spots and having it slope down towards the pond. We do have a natural slope from the house to the pond, but there is like a dip in the center of the yard where the water has been pooling up. And so, we really needed to make sure it would flow consistently rather than have stagnant water sit in the middle of the pipe. And then we also wanted to make sure it was deep enough where, we wouldn't nick a pipe with a lawnmower or anything like that. We do know this is here, so it doesn't need to be too deep, and it obviously doesn't have any electrical wires or anything like that running through it. But still, just making sure our trench was deep enough. Then connecting it to our gutters and using our plumbing glue to glue it all together. You do need about a 1% to 2% slope just to keep the drainage flowing downward. So we did try to measure this, but ultimately we just tested it as well before we fully sealed it. But when you are digging, you do want to make sure that you at least have a 1% to 2% slope. This is a little off center here, so we just needed to dig a little bit more to straighten it out and get it attached correctly. So as soon as you think you're done digging, nope, there is more. That's kind of the story of how this project went. The hard part on sealing all of these pipes is just getting the leverage because they are so long. So getting the leverage to be able to push them in while keeping it in the ditch was the hardest part here. We were able to do it, thankfully, but it is just hard to get your leverage and push your pipe in there. Here is our other gutter to pipe. This is day 2, and we dug this trench. Actually helped more with this trench, so less filming, more digging. But here we go, just making sure it all fits, it's straight, and it's gonna flow here. So for example, looking at it, we noticed that we dug the ditch slightly crooked, and so I stood in this spot to show him, hey, this needs to go a little bit more this way, and of course he had to redig again. The joys of that. course, it would be too easy if we didn't have to cut a few pipes, but luckily this one just needed a little extra to make that angle, and we got it. Now for the testing. This was the part that we were waiting for, and so we tested the bottom section from that angle to the pond first, and thank goodness it worked. Water was flowing out. And then we tested this section, which was straight but did have a pretty big dip in the middle of the yard to the junction, and this did not work at first, which is why we test it before sealing everything up. So from there, we had to lift up the center of the pipe a little bit, and we did that by filling in some of the dirt and putting a few rocks in there. See, that rock helped hold it up. And then we were all good to go, and water was flowing out of that as well. Now, one more junction, one more gutter spot to check, to double check that it works. And we are all good on this one as well.
Okay.
I can't tell you how good it felt to finally do this video of the whole thing trenched, piped, and working. Whew, that was a relief, let me tell you. Now that we have completed and tested it, and it all flows, I'm gonna fill it in. Perfect time because we're supposed to get rain tonight. We're supposed to get rain tonight, and we need to mow because we got rain right before we did this project, and our grass is crazy town over here. But look at this thing. And goes perfectly to the pond. Well, it's working. What do you think? Was it worth your hard work?
Yeah, it's great.
How do you feel about your pond being so full?
It's good. Show them.
Okay. Let's see how full the pond is. Y'all, it's like overflowing. Full. Beautiful. We got a lot coming out of the stream here. We're Stillwater's Ranch. Follow us along for more homestead, ranch projects, all the things. Give us a like, give us a subscribe.